Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Nice. Here comes Liz. Okay. So we're going to kick it off with some breath work, but you're going to do a counted breath work. So you're going to do the work at your pace. And I'll just give Liz a second to come to her mat. Hey, Liz, good morning. Liz, this morning we need a yoga block, a yoga strap, or your TheraBand, and a blanket, but the blanket's just for cushion and comfort. So that's a choose your own adventure one. All right. So find a comfortable seated position. Just take a moment to come to your mat, settle in, soften your shoulders. Take a couple of nice settling breaths. And just as you breathe here, I'm going to talk you through where we're going to go. So we're going to take 3 rounds of our skull shining breath, or that pumping rhythmic breath where we do the sharp exhalation and the passive inhalation. So that's the breath that we're going to do. But individually, we're going to count a breath of 30. So you're going to do your 30 breaths. At the end of your 30 breath, you're going to hold and retain the breath. You'll hold it just as long as feels good. You'll release it, go back. You'll do 30 more breaths. Hold at the top of that 30th breath. Release it, and then do that one more time. So we'll do 3 sets of 30. And then once you've completed those 3 sets of 30, you're just going to go hands to the belly, hands to the heart, just so that we all know that we're kind of on the same page. Whatever comfortable seated position feels good, and you might choose to elevate your butt just a little bit if that feels like a better way to sit for 3 rounds of 30 breaths. For some people, it feels really energizing to take the thumbs, tuck them into the palms, wrap the fingers around, and hold it up in sort of a cactus or goalpost position. That is like one of the more traditional positionings of the arms, but any position of your arms that might feel good, which could include just letting your hands relax on your knees, maybe hands in the belly, hands in the heart. That's a nice way to find that pumping rhythm. So wherever you like your hands the best, and just to review how our breath goes, it's a sharp exhale and a passive inhale, and we pump from the diaphragm. So you'll feel that little pumping sensation at your abdomen. Sharp exhale, passive inhale. You're going to count to 30, hold at the top of the breath at 30, release, and go back into it. So we're going to do 3 rounds. So get yourself really nice and comfortable. Take a moment to just take that one last settling breath. And then wherever you like your hands most, and just kick it off. 30 counts of breath. Once you've completed your 3 sets of 30 breaths, you're just going to bring hands to the belly, hands to the heart, and just allow your breath to return to a natural rhythm, but take your time. No need to rush away from the work that you're doing. Take one more breath here. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, just take a moment to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, keep your hand on your heart. Other hand that's on the belly is going to stack on top of that hand that's on the heart. We're going to trap that skin and connective tissue and move gently up and down in the neck and the throat. So inhales, you lift your chin up. Exhales, you tuck your chin down and just move at a gentle pace. Notice your head, notice your neck. Take one more breath up and down. And then bring your head to a neutral position, release your hands down at your sides, and we're just going to move the arms. Inhale, arms are going to reach up and overhead. Exhale, arms are going to swim nice and wide, float right back down to the ground. And how you flip your palms, totally up to you, just what feels comfortable in your arms and your shoulders. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, arms up. Maybe for a moment, let the palms meet. Lift your gaze just for a moment, and then we're going to release our fingertips to the shoulders and then start to draw some nice, generous circles with our elbows. So circle just as wide as feels good. It doesn't need to be extreme, and it doesn't need to be like your full range of motion, but bringing just a little bit of extra, maybe slowness to the process. So just kind of tuning in, noticing how do your shoulders feel? Are there any catchy places, or is everything moving pretty smoothly? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. And then if you're moving in one particular direction, maybe reverse and go the other way. Awesome. One more circle around, and then left hand's going to touch down to the ground. Right hand's going to reach up, take a nice gentle side bend, just enough that you feel a little stretch or stress in the side of the body. And then pause there for a moment, take a nice big breath. Lift up and over to the other side, find your side bend just as far as feels good. No need to go extreme. Just find a little bit of stress in the side of the body and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Lift up. We're going to take it into an easy seated forward fold. So if you have a cushion under your butt and you like an easy seated forward fold without, take a second to scooch it out of the way and then walk yourself out just to a depth that feels good. Pause in the center, take a breath. And then we're going to walk it off to one side. So maybe walk over to the right just a little bit, staying nice and low. Notice the side body and notice your low back side body. So here with this side bend stretching situation, you might feel through the side of the body down into the ribs, but also think low back side body. So where that low back kind of wraps around and meets the hip. Take a nice big breath. When you're ready, walk through center, over and across the other side. Take your time as you walk across, and then just find that point where you feel that little sense of stress in the side of the body. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, walk it back through center, pause in the center, take a breath. Walk yourself back up nice and slow. And then we're going to do our funny glasses. So we're going to do like 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, but you might want to take your physical glasses off. So I'll show you, and then you take your glasses off so you can see. So you're going to take index finger to thumb, like you're making that little funny glass. You're going to point palm backwards, and then you're going to flip, rotate, and put on your glasses. And we're going to go about 5 times through. So we're just going to reach, extend away, pull it in, flip the palm, make your funny glasses. So once you see what's going on, take your glasses off if you're wearing physical glasses, and then just go a couple times through, extending the arm out, finding just a little bit of length and reach through the armpit chest area, and then pulling through, flipping the palm, and wearing your funny glasses. Awesome. Take one time through on this side, and then when you're ready, release, and we're going to take it to the other side. So index finger, thumb to touch. We're going to flip palm, reach away, and then flip, come through, put your funny glasses on, and then extend out and away. So take a little bit of fluid motion, get as many funny glasses on as you can. One side might feel different than the other. One side might feel a little awkward compared to the other. So you just allow a little bit of time. Go one more time on this side. And then when you're ready, release your hands. If you took your glasses off, take a second to put them back on, and then grab your kneecaps or grab your shins, move right into a cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck chin to chest. Inhale as you lift your heart. Exhale as you round your back. And then just keep that breath going. Take a few more cycles of breath. One more cat-cow here, and then we're going to take it into scrape the peanut butter jar or barrel rolls. So as you inhale and your heart pulls forward, now we're going to circle the ribs around. Does not need to be extreme to find good work. So this can be very small, subtle, and gentle. I like to project my movements just so you can kind of see what's going on, but it does not need to be as big of a motion as all of this. You can take it nice and slow, nice and gentle, nice and mindful if that feels like a better way to go, especially if you're working on stuff with your spine or if you've got any digestive stuff going on. Take one more circle around. And when I say digestive stuff, that can also mean the mental stuff you're digesting. So that can go both ways. Circle around in the other direction. Take your time. Take one more circle around. And then when you're ready, we're just going to lean back into the sits bones, release your legs, and then just take them into some nice gentle windshield wipers. So nothing extreme, just moving a little bit, bringing a little bit of fluid movement into the hips, noticing how do your knees feel, noticing how do your legs feel. Take one more little windshield wiper, those knees side to side, and then we're going to take it into a little seated ragdoll. So with a super generous bend in the knees, feet as wide as you like, think up and over with the chest and the ribs, and then keep that little hip hinge, fold yourself forward. Hands can touch the toes, hands can touch the ground, the shins, the floor, anything that feels good. Find a little bit of a folded position, and then we're just going to focus our breath into the back of the body for a moment. So breathe into the back of your rib cage, little soft stretch in the low back. Notice your breath. And then notice, are you holding tension in your jaw? Can you keep your mouth closed, but not clench your teeth? We're going to stay in this folded position for 3 more cycles of breath. But as you do your cycles of breath, you're going to inhale, raise your eyebrows like you're trying to scrunch up your forehead. And then as you exhale, you're going to try to reach your eyebrows down. That's not going to get like any real range of motion. But what you're going to do is inhale, lift your eyebrows up like you're coming in for a surprise. And then exhale, reach your eyebrows down. So we're going to keep that soft rounded position with the back of the body. Inhale, eyebrows raise up. Exhale, eyebrows draw down. Inhale, eyebrows raise up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Nice. And then when you're ready, start to slowly walk yourself up and out of your fold. Now we're going to step our feet nice and wide. So think feet to the outer edges of your mat. You're going to lean back just enough. And now big windshield wiper. So we're rolling all the way across the glutes or finding as much range of motion in our hips as we can. And then as you start to roll across those glutes, we're going to take it into a slight twist. So you're going to roll to one side, little gentle twist, release, roll across to the other side, a little gentle twist. Take a few times across, go at a pace that makes sense to you and how far you twist, what feels good to your body. Take one more time each side. And then as you come through center, we're just going to spin it around and find our way into tabletop position. So as you start to come onto all fours, just ask yourself, would it feel good to cushion your knees? Is there any place that wants a little extra cushion or care, and then take a second to get yourself up, all set up. And then once you're in your tabletop position, we're going to curl both sets of toes under and just take it into that rock forward and back, pulling butt back towards the heels, shoulders slightly past the wrists. The next time your butt pulls back towards your heels, stay there. And then if it feels good, just rock your hips a little bit side to side. One more rock side to side, and then come up through tabletop position. We're going to step the right leg out into our gate position. So step the right leg out, the toe and the knee are going to be pointing forward, and we're going to take little micro rocks forward and back. So sometimes we go butt back to the heels as far as we can, but for right now, while we haven't warmed up the body completely, take little micro rocks. So not your full range of motion, but just noticing, do you feel a little tender stretch in the inner thigh and groin? There's no right or wrong. We all have different places where we might experience looser limbs. So just allow for a moment to just tune in, pay attention, and notice. Cool. Now, the next time your shoulders come in line with the wrist, stay there. We're going to pick up the right hand, thread it through and underneath the left. So right ear, right shoulder are going to come towards the ground. Take a nice big breath. Come up nice and slow and controlled, and we're going to switch to the other side. Right hand's going to stay down, left hand's going to thread through and underneath, left ear, left shoulder towards the ground. Beautiful. Lift up nice and slow. Slide that right leg in, and we're going to switch to the other side. Left leg steps out, toe and knee pointing forward. Pause for a moment just to check and make sure everything feels good. And then once you're there, micro rocks forward and back. So not your full range of motion, but just finding a little bit of sensation in the inner thigh if you can. One more little rock forward and back. And then the next time your shoulders come in line with the wrist, right hand stays down, left hand's going to thread through and underneath, left ear, left shoulder towards the ground. Beautiful. Come up nice and slow. I'm going to switch to the other side. Right hand's going to thread through and underneath. Beautiful. Come up nice and slow and controlled. And now we're going to slide that leg in, move right to extended child's pose. So big toes together, knees nice and wide. Draw your butt back towards your heels, belly, chest, forehead melts down, and then nice soft arms here. So a little bit of letting go if you can. Let go of any tension in your muscles in the back of the body, in your arms, in your fingers. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and gently bring yourself back up to tabletop position. As we come back to tabletop position, we're going to walk the knees in, find your stable table, and then we're going to take a little temper tantrum. So we're going to start by just smacking the hands on the ground. Now, how hard you go? How does your body feel? What's the cushioning like underneath your hands? So be mindful. That little bit of impact is really great for our bones and our joints, but we want to be just careful and mindful so we don't injure ourselves. So you take as much oomph with your temper tantrum as feels appropriate. And then we're going to pull the butt back towards the heels just a little bit and see if you can just bring a little bit more heat to that stomp. I hope my housemate downstairs isn't in a meeting. Take one more stomp with those hands and then bring it back up to table, and we're going to tap out the feet. So we're going to just pound those feet out just as much as feels good, as fast as you like or as slow as you like. That's totally up to you. Nice. One more big tap of those feet and then one big lion's breath. Take a nice big giant inhale. Exhale, stick out your tongue, look to your third eye and let it go. Awesome. And then when you're ready, curl your toes under, exhale up to a downward facing dog. Once you're in your downward facing dog, start to pedal up the legs. Bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Beautiful. From our downward facing dog, we're going to take it into our elephant walk. So we're going to elephant walk forward and back. So we keep that sort of down dog shape, and we're just going to start to do this nice slow and lumbering walk forward and back. So we're going to take it our time, nice and slow, almost as if you're walking through mud or through molasses. So we want to take our time. Imagine every inch of your movement is as slow as an elephant, nice and gentle, nice and controlled. Work through the pads of your feet, work through the pads of your hands. Let your hips move gently, let your knees move gently. It does require strength, but take your time with it. Take one or two more times forward and back, just depending on the pace that you're going with. And then the next time you come towards the front end of your mat, we're going to take it into a nice soft ragdoll fold. So as you walk yourself in that elephant walk towards the front end of your mat, walk your feet towards your hands, keep your knees nice and soft, and then take it right into a dangle from here. Grab your elbows, make a little space for your belly and your chest. Let your head hang nice and heavy. If it feels good to do so, maybe take it into a light and gentle sway. Take one more light and gentle sway. And then as you come back to center, release your handhold of your elbows, bend your knees a lot. We're going to come up as slow as we possibly can, because we're also going to go down as slow as we possibly can. So bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles up just slightly. And then like you're drawing your way through and out of that mud, pull your way up nice and slow and controlled. Take your time. Once you've come all the way up, pause just for a moment. Let your gaze be forward. Let your shoulders be soft. Feel your feet connected to the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Nice. Now we're going to take our hands to our hips. So we want to feel that we're making sure that we go for that hip hinge. That's the point of movement that we're going to kind of draw from. And we're going to work our way down into our forward fold, but we're going to go forward 1 centimeter at a time. So when I say this work is a little bit slow, it's slow, but it's like really good work. So if you can stay in it and find that focus, awesome. If you're like not there this morning, don't worry about it. You can fold as many times as you want. All right, so toes and knees pointing fairly forward. Lift from the soles of your feet. Draw energy up through the front of your body, up through the crown of your head. Hands are going to find the hip points. We're going to keep this nice long lifted spine, and I'm going to keep repeating myself. So we're going to lift through the spine, hinge forward 1 centimeter. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Hinge forward 1 centimeter. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Hinge forward 1 centimeter. Pause for a moment. Notice how your back feels. Do you want to micro bend your knees? Is there any little adjustments that you want to make? Did you lose that focus in the soles of your feet? Can you lift from the soles of your feet? Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, come forward 1 centimeter. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, come forward 1 centimeter. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, come forward 1 centimeter. Pause for a moment. Notice your head position. Are you lifting your chin and looking up? Now, can you make a little bit of a double chin and keep that spinal connection? So we want to keep our head in that nice neutral position following the movement of the spine. I turn my head, I look up to you guys, but you can keep your head in the position that feels the best to you. Pause here again for a moment and just notice, do you want to bend your knees just a little bit more? And then when you're ready, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward 1 more centimeter. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward 1 more centimeter. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward, pause for a moment. Now we're kind of getting to that hip hinge point. Do you want to bend your knees a little bit more? Are you feeling any tender tug in the back of your leg? We want to feel maybe sometimes a stretch in the hamstring muscles, but certainly don't want to feel anything zinging us up into our butt muscles. So pause for a moment and notice, did you lose that engagement of your arches of your feet? Can you lift the arches of your feet? Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, come forward 1 more centimeter. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Now we're about at that halfway point. Are your hands getting in the way of your hip hinge? Release your hands maybe to your knees or tops of your thighs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward 1 more centimeter. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. So now we're about at that halfway point. Can you lift your hands away from your thighs? And do you feel the backs of your thighs kick on? So your hamstring muscles might be engaged here. Awesome if they are. No worries if you can't feel it. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge forward another centimeter. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Lift your hands away from your thighs again. You may really feel the backs of your legs kicked down at this point. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Lift your hands. You might feel them really kicked down at this point. Your legs are working super hard to hold that position. Hands are maybe going to slide forward, find the shins. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward 1 more centimeter. I told you this one's a slow one. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. We're going to take about 3 more here, but now this point, everybody's body might fold slightly differently. So we might be to the edge of some people's forward fold. So you're going to go for 3 more, just finding that those 3 extra centimeters, if they're available to you. And then once you feel like you found the edge and the depth of your forward fold, your hands are going to land wherever feels the most comfortable, which might be the shins, your big toes, or the floor. And then can you release the back of your neck? So now your gaze would be towards the back of your mat or down between your feet. Take 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale to a half forward fold. Hands are going to glide up to the shins, lengthen the spine. Keep all of that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold all the way down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your side. Pause just for a moment in your mountain pose. Lift from the soles of your feet, reach up through the crown of your head, ground your shoulders down. Take a moment here just to notice your breath, notice the back of your body. Nice. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior 1. We're going to drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, lift your arms up. We're going to bring the prayer hands together, interlace the fingers, pointers up towards the ceiling. Sink just a little bit further into that front thigh. Lift your gaze, take a breath. Can you draw up from the soles of your feet? So imagine your arches are lifting, lifting strength up through your legs, up through the side of your body, all the way up to your arms. And now we're going to release into a little bit of a reverse warrior 1. So right hand's going to reach back, touch that back thigh. Left hand's going to lift, and you're going to lift your gaze, just opening up a little bit through the side of the body, and then spin your hands down to the ground. Pivot your back heel, come into a runner's lunge. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Bring the back knee down, and we're going to release those back toes. Take 3 half splits here. Rock yourself forward and back just enough that you feel a little bit of lengthening through the back of that front leg. Awesome. And then the next time you come forward, curl the back toes under, pick the back knee up, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra, just as high as you like. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Right leg is going to come up nice and high. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Just one breath. Reach through that leg and then step that foot through to the top of your mat. Find your runner's lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath, and then we're going to step that back foot up to meet. So find your forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the left leg back, warrior one, drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, lift your arms up, maybe hands together, interlace the fingers, pointers up. Sink a little bit deeper into that front thigh, lift your gaze. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to just reverse that warrior just a little bit. Left hand's going to touch that back thigh. Right hand's going to lift your gaze. And then spin those hands down to the ground. Find your runner's lunge. Beautiful. Bring that back knee down, release the back toes. Take 3 half splits here. The next time you rock forward, get the back knee up. Step back to plank. Bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Left leg is going to come up into that three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Just one breath or come right to the edge of it. And then when you're ready, step that foot through to the top of your mat. Find a runner's lunge. Step the back foot up to meet. Find forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. And we're going to take it into a light little bounce. So just a couple of little bounces of the heels, just to bring a little bit of vibrant energy back into the body and shake off any of that stuff. One more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, let that come to stillness. Find your mountain pose, root down into your feet, reach up through the top of your head. Inhale, arms up, maybe hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, whatever feels better in your body. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior one, drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, arms up. We're gonna go prayer hands together, interlace the fingers, pointers up, lift your heart. And now we're going to release those interlaced fingers, sweep the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers here, draw the knuckles down. We're not going to humble warrior here. We're just going to hold that position for a moment. So open through the chest, open through the collarbones, take a breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, unlace your fingers, float your hands down, pivot that back foot, frame your front foot, bring the back knee down, release the back toes, take 3 half splits. The next time you rock forward, pick that back knee up, come through runner's lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring the knees down or go through chaturanga if you like. Rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Right leg up into three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Come right to the edge of it. And then once you hit the edge of it, step that foot through to the top of your mat. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. We're going to come to a light version of standing half split. So step your hands forward, pick up that back leg, kick it up just a little bit, and then release it right away into your forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up. Hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Palms together, interlace the fingers, pointers up, sink into that front thigh. Beautiful. Now we're going to sweep the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers here, draw the knuckles towards the heels, but we're just going to stay with that opening through the chest and the collarbones, maybe a little bit of a lift of your gaze. Lovely. Unlace your hands, float your hands down, frame your front foot, pivot your back heel. Bring that back knee down, release the back toes, take 3 half splits. As you rock forward, pick that back knee up, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees or lower in chaturanga, totally up to you. Inhaling up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Left leg up into 3-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open, just open up to the edge of it and then step that foot through to the top of your mat. Find your runner's lunge, pause for a moment. Step your hands forward for a little support. And we're going to kick that right leg up just to the edge of that standing half splits and then release it right away into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften all the way down. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll all the way up to standing. Take your time. Roll your shoulders up to your ears. Roll them around, down and back. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, drop the back heel, turn the toes out, warrior one. Lift your arms up, prayer hands together, interlace the fingers, pointers up, sink into that front thigh. Reverse that warrior, drop the back hand, flip that left palm, look up towards the sky. Release that reverse, bring both hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles down, open through the heart space. Unlace your fingers, float your hands down, frame your front foot, pivot your back heel. Bring the back knee down, release the toes, 1 half splits. Pull your hips back, peel the front toes up. Rock yourself forward, pick the back knee up. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees or lower in chaturanga. Inhaling up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Right leg up into 3-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open, come right to the edge of it, and then step that foot through to the top of your mat. Once you've found that runner's lunge at the top of your mat, pause for a moment, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Step your hands forward, pick up that back leg, come right to the edge of that standing half splits, and then release into forward fold. Bend both knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, draw up from the belly button all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the left leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, arms up, prayer hands together, interlace the fingers, pointers up. Sink into that front thigh, lift your gaze. Reverse that warrior. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up. And then releasing that, swim both hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles down, open through the heart space. Beautiful. When you're ready, release those interlaced fingers, float the hands down, pivot the back heel, frame that front foot. Bring the back knee down, release your back toes. 1 half splits, pull the hips back. Rock yourself forward, pick that back knee up. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower the knees or lower in chaturanga. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Left leg up into 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that foot through to the top of your mat. Find your runner's lunge and pause. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Nice. Now step your hands forward, pick that back leg up, kick it up into that standing half split, and then right at the edge of it, release into your forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, pull up from your belly button line, draw up nice and slow. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. And then find that energetic lift from the soles of your feet all the way up through the top of your head. Pause here for a moment, just to come back to your breath. Take one more breath. And now if you like to use your yoga strap for that cow face arms with the forward fold, grab your yoga strap or your TheraBand. We're going to take it and just drop it down the back of the body, re-grab with the other hand, and then you're going to creep your hands just together as close as they'll go without losing that upper body shape. So if everything gets all hunched over and rounded, release your grip just a little bit. We want an open spaciousness through the front of the heart space. Once you've found your handhold that works good for you, micro bend your knees, hip hinge, fold forward, let that top elbow get nice and heavy towards the earth. Take one more breath. Lift from your top elbow, bend your knees, push into your heels as you come up nice and slow and controlled. And then as you come up, take a moment to release, shrug your shoulders out, release anything that you need to. Now we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to drop that strap down the back of the body, re-grab with the other hand, walk your hands nice and close or as close as they'll go. One side might be very different from the other. My left hand always has a little bit more effort to reach than the other side. So just give a little grace, give a little moment to find your space. And then once you feel like you found it, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold forward. Let that top elbow get nice and heavy. Take one more breath. Bend your knees, push into your feet, lift from that top elbow, come up nice and slow. As you come up, take a moment to release, shrug your shoulders out, release anything that you found around there. And then if you want to use your strap for your humble warrior, place it just slightly off to the right side of your mat, and then find your mountain pose again. Nice. When you're ready, inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior one, drop the back heel, toes turn out. If you want, grab your yoga strap as you come on up. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And now we're going to take it into our humble warrior. So we're going to bring the hands behind the back, find a handhold with your yoga strap. So I like about a little bit of a 2-inch space between my hands, 2 or 3 inches, just that gives me enough room for my shoulders to move happily. So find a little space where your arms can kind of move freely away from the back of the body, which may also include interlacing your fingers. Fold forward. So think hip hinge, and you're going to let those arms fall away from the back of the body. Nice, strong legs. Nice, deep breath here. When you feel ready, hands are going to release towards the low back, lift from the top of your head, come up nice and slow. If you're holding onto your strap, just pass it over to the left side of your mat and then take it right into your reverse warrior. Drop the right hand to the back of the thigh, lift your left hand up, lift your gaze. Beautiful. Now we're going to circle those hands down to the ground as you pivot your back heel, find your runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Right leg up nice and high into 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. At the edge of that, step that foot through to the top of your mat. Find your runner's lunge. Hands forward, or you'll use your yoga block. That'll be totally up to you, or maybe somewhere in between. So if you want to set yourself up on your yoga block or hands in front of you, we're going to come up into our standing half splits. And then we're going to pick up that left leg and let the knee roll open. So think hip rolls open, just like we did in that down dog. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, release into forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the left leg back, warrior one, drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Inhale, lifting up. Beautiful. And then if you want, grab your yoga strap. We're going to take it right into our humble warrior. Bring that strap behind you. Make enough space so your arms move a little bit freely away from the back of the body. Hip hinge, fold forward, let the arms fall away. Nice strong legs. Beautiful. When you're ready, hands are going to release towards the low back, lift through the top of the head, come up nice and slow. Set your strap off to the side, left hand to the back thigh, right hand reaches up, reverse your warrior. And then when you're ready, spin your hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Left leg up into three-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that foot through to the top of your mat. And then we take it into the standing half splits with the hip roll open. So we're going to kick that right leg up nice and high, bend the knee, allow your hip to open up. Lovely. And then when you're ready, release that foot into forward fold nice and slow. And now we're going to take it down into a little ball of yarn. So you're just going to start bend the knees, pick up the heels, tuck your way down, tuck your chin into your chest, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Sit your butt down. We're going to take it right into a supported boat. So as you sit your butt down, grab the backs of your thighs, lift your legs up. A little bit of life and energy into the feet, a little life and energy up through the top of your head. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, float your feet down. We're going to come down onto our backside. But if you're like, I just want to see what's going on before I get there. As we come down onto our backside, I'm slightly supported. We're going to turn the toes in. We're going to keep the toe turned in, and we're going to do leg lifts with the toe turned in. So come all the way down onto your back, arms wherever feels the most supportive. Once you're there, we're going to bend the left knee. Right leg is going to go nice and long. Turn your right toes over to the left. So we want to feel that turn coming from that front pocket area. So if it helps you find it, place your hand on that right front pocket area. Turn your right toes over to the left. You should feel movement happen at that right front pocket area. And then once you feel like you've found that toe turn in, we're going to keep that right toe reaching over to the left. And we're going to start to lift the leg up and down. Keep the toe turned to the left. Lift up and down. You might not get a lot of height. Go for control. So it doesn't need to be fast. It doesn't need to be super high, but we want to keep that toe turned to the left the entire time. Take one more lift up and down. And then as your heel touches down to the ground, you're going to let the toe turn out to the right. Relax your inner thigh, relax that front pocket area. Pause just for a moment, take a breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch to the other side. So slide that right leg in, nice bent knee position. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Left hand to that front pocket area if you just like to feel where that work is happening from. Turn your left toes in or turn your left toes over to the right. We're going to keep those left toes reaching over to the right. Once you feel like you've found that, lift up and down, nice and controlled. And then if this is efforted, if this feels like it's a lot of work for some of us, that like tensor fascia lata area, that whole like front pocket area, there's a lot of stuff that happens for some of us. So if this feels very efforted, just work with your breath. Exhale on your effort. Lovely. Take one more lift up and down. And then the next time your heel touches down to the earth, let the toe turn out to the left. Pause for a moment and just relax everything. Relax the left leg, relax that front pocket area. Take a breath. Nice. And now we're going to slide the left leg into a bent knee position. Right leg is going to come across the left for a figure four. Arms are going to come out nice and wide like a T. And then we're going to rock our figure four in a big grand movement. So we're going to rock the figure four over to the left, let the foot touch the ground, rock it all the way over to the right, like you're going for that knee down twist. So take it in as big of a movement from side to side as you can find. One more time, side to side. And then as you come through center, hold that figure four configuration. We're going to lift the left leg up, thread the hands through, get the handhold you like best, pull it in just to a point where you feel sensation. Pause there for a moment, take a breath. And then we're going to move away from the sensation. So if you pulled the legs closer to your heart, you're going to release them maybe 2 inches or so. Pause for a moment. And then we're going to go middle of that space. So where was your edge and where did you pull back those 2 inches? Can you come in between that space? Come in just a little bit, relax your shoulders, soften your abdomen. Take a moment just to notice. Move back to that inch. So not coming closer to the heart, but move away just a little bit. And then we're going to come back into that midpoint. So not to your edge, but to that, come a little closer. And now come back to your edge. Hug the legs in just enough that you feel that little extra something. Take a breath. And then holding that position, keep your right foot nice and firm. We're going to take 3 kicks of the left leg. So you're just going to kick the left leg up and down. Lovely. And then once you've done that last kick of the leg, slowly, gently, mindfully float the legs all the way down. And then we're going to switch our figure four. So we're going to take the left leg across the right. Once you've got your figure four set up, arms out nice and wide, and we're taking that big grand movement. So we're rocking that figure four from side to side with as much range of motion as you can find. Beautiful. Take one more rock side to side. And then as you come back through center, lift your right leg up, thread your hands through, find your favorite handhold, pull the legs in all the way to your edge. So find that comfortable point where you can still breathe comfortably. And then once you feel like you found it, move away from that space. So move out about 2 inches or so, pause for a moment. And then come to the middle of that space. So not to your edge, but not to that 2 inches away. So come into that middle space, pause for a moment and breathe. Move back to that away point. So moving a little further away from your heart, pause and take a breath. Bring it back to that midpoint. And then if it feels good to do so, move past that midpoint, come to your edge, come back to your breath. And then sticking with that edge, if it feels good, take 3 kicks to the right leg up and down. Nice. And then once you've completed that last kick of the leg, float your legs down, step your left leg off the right, and then just for a moment, pause and notice how your hips feel, notice how your legs feel. Feet are going to be about hip width distance apart, heels close to the butt, hands alongside the hips. We're going to come up, we're going to go to some bridges, but we're going to think about keeping them like halfway bridges. So we're not going to try to go for full height, getting up on top of the shoulders or anything like that. We're going to work with the breath. Exhale, lift your hips up. Think about keeping the backs of your ribs down on the ground. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift your hips up. Think about keeping the backs of your ribs down. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift your hips up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. On this next one, we're going to exhale, lift up and hold. So still want to keep that idea of anchoring the backs of your ribs down, and then think about reaching your knees toward your toes. Find a little extra length through that front pocket area, a little extra squeeze in your glutes. Maybe see if you can squeeze your glutes just a little bit more. Squeeze them just a little bit more. Can you hold and maintain that squeeze? Hold that nice firmness of your butt, but now we're going to roll down through the spine. So think one vertebrae at a time, as slow as you can stand. The entire time you're going to try to keep those glutes kicked on. Slow, 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 slow. And then once you've completed that roll down, once the hips have touched down, relax your butt muscles, relax your feet, toe heel your feet out just a little bit, and then take just some light and gentle windshield wipers just to kind of soften everything up. Soften your glutes, soften your low back. And then as you start to do this soft work here, just ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest to support the low back? Would it feel good to take that more traditional shape? Would it feel good to flip over onto your belly or onto your side? So any setup that would feel really nice to you, take a moment to start to find your way there.